good that we did it here. Otherwise, it would have been very inconvenient for you to sit in the car and.
So the civil society members have submitted their draft of the Lokpal Bill, but still you are in the thick of action. Anna Hazare has said that he is going to start his next hunger strike. On the other hand, the Congress party, Digvijay Singh, has said that Anna Hazare will have to face the same fate of Baba Ramdev. So are you prepared for all this?
Yeah, it is actually unfortunate that Mr. Digvijay Singh has said this, because it is a democracy. Under Article 19 of the Constitution, every citizen in this country has a right to peacefully protest. So when he says that, I think that is not right for him, especially for a senior Congress leader like him to say that. But if the Congress, if the government does that, and if there is a police action against us, we are prepared for that.
The civil society members and the ministers in the joint Lokpal drafting committee have filed two separate bills. How do you see the whole process of joint drafting committee, after filing your bill? You still stand where you had begun?
Yeah, we stand where we began actually, that is right. In fact, we get a feeling that joint drafting committee process was to some extent just a mere showpiece, because the government appears to have already made up its mind on many of the points, and many of the issues that have been included in the government's draft were never discussed in the joint committee. So it appears that the government had already made up its mind on many of the issues, and you are right that we stand where we started on 16th April.
You want everyone to be under the Lokpal, but whom the Lokpal will be accountable to? That's been one criticism against your Lokpal.
Lokpal will be accountable to the people of this country according to the draft submitted by us, and Lokpal will be accountable to the government according to the draft submitted by the government. Because according to the draft submitted by us, any citizen can make a complaint to the Supreme Court and have him removed. But according to the draft submitted by the government, only government can make an application to the Supreme Court to have Lokpal removed.
So it's a fact that you have been a backbone in this movement. You literally, I remember you in the beginning, before the January 30th March, you have been literally walking to the campuses in residential colonies. So looking back, how do you see the success of this movement? Because it has definitely created an unconsciousness among the people.
Right. I don't think, you see, no one can take credit for this movement. It is basically a channelization of huge anger that was already existing in our society against corruption. And the difference between this movement, about this movement, has been that this movement was talking also of a solution in the form of this Jan Lokpal Bill. It was not just against corruption, it was saying that we have a solution in the form of Jan Lokpal Bill. And I'm so happy that in the last 2 months, especially, the biggest benefit of this joint committee meetings has been that after every meeting we used to come out and we used to explain to the people that what were the issues discussed in the meeting. And there was so much of debate that took place on this bill about each and every issue. Now the people are fully aware of what the positions are and pros and cons of each of the issues.
And the campaign was very peculiar, given the support of media coverage and such things. So could you please tell us the special strategies you adopted to reach out to people?
You see, before Anna's fast, 5th April, I don't think there was any media support at that time. So at that time, many things took place. We contacted people through both personal and impersonal means. So personally, there were a number of places where we visited across the country. We met people, we met other NGOs, we met other activists, and we explained Jan Lokpal Bill to them. And also we used internet, SMS, Facebook, everything, all methods.
New media and internet had a great role to play in this campaign, but could it resonate in the rural India?
Yes, this is a misconception that this was only urban based movement. This is because the media reached only Jantar Mantar or some places in urban India. Even in urban India, for instance at Jantar Mantar, there were a lot of people who came from slums, but somehow media concentrated their cameras only on pretty faces. But there were a lot of people from slums who were also there, who no one talked to. I went to several villages around Banaras, Lucknow, Sultanpur, and I was quite pleasantly surprised. In every village, when Anna sat on fast, people also sat on fast. So this movement touched the chord with, I think, almost every citizen in this country.
Okay. Could you please tell us about the beginning of this movement? Who actually conceived this movement? And,
Actually, this was about Jan Lokpal, and since September, some of us got together and started drafting a law. India Against Corruption was born as a result of corruption in Commonwealth Games, and therefore initially it was about filing an FIR against Commonwealth Games, corruption in Commonwealth Games. That was more a symbolic to tell the people that even if, firstly, how difficult it is to register an FIR against so much of corruption that has taken place, and secondly, it is so difficult to get any action done on that FIR. So till now, I mean on 13th November, we submitted our petition to the police to register an FIR. Till now, no FIR has been registered in Commonwealth Games as far as our petition goes. And after that, we started, we drafted the first version of Lokpal Bill, which we put up on the net on 1st December. We sent it to the Prime Minister and various other authorities. That's how it started.
And how did the key personalities come together in this?
So I started approaching each one of them. I approached Justice Santosh Hegde, Prashant Bhushan and all. NCPRI was also involved in drafting of this bill initially. Prashant Bhushan, Anna Hazare ji, everyone, Swami Agnivesh.
And the Congress party has accused, this has been one criticism against the movement, that it's linked with RSS and the communal elements. So
where is the evidence of that?
Did you feel the need to consciously stay away from such communal elements? Was there such
we will have to feel the need if we are already working with them. We are not working with anyone. We are neither working with RSS nor are we working with BJP. This is, even Anna wrote a very strong letter to Mrs. Gandhi saying that where is the evidence? You just can't. It is very unfortunate that such senior people in senior positions, responsible people, if they make such kind of false accusations, then there is a lot to worry about the country. How will the country run if such senior people start making such false accusations? He said, give me evidence. Show me how I am related to RSS.
How was it to fight the smear campaign? There has been smear campaign against the members of civil society.
I think it was difficult because we've never faced anything like that. We are not politicians. It was difficult at that time. But as we've already been saying that we have, what strength do we have? We are very ordinary people. We have no money, we have no resources, we have no manpower, we don't have cadres in the normal sense. We are not a Sangathan or a party. All that we have is our commitment to the cause and the fact that we are truthful to the cause. That's all. That is the only strength that we have. And I think that helped us.
Of course, you got such a strong team with you. That's one reason the success of this movement. But also there is one criticism against it, that it doesn't seek a solution to change the system which allows to flourish corruption. It only seeks to punish the corrupt.
Yeah, so we are only on that. So there could be others who could seek to change the system. We started this movement only for Jan Lokpal and we are confining ourselves to that. We don't want to make it so broad. We don't want to include so many issues at this moment. Annaji has already said that if we get Jan Lokpal, then the next step we will also fight for electoral reforms, judicial reforms. One by one we wish to take up. But if you take all the reforms simultaneously, then nothing can be achieved. So, I mean, and we are not the only, others, there are so many other groups who are doing wonderful job in other areas and we will join hands with them. So all of us need to work together with each other. It's not that only 5 of us or 10 of us need to take up all the issues. There are other issues which are taken. We have taken up the issue of Lokpal Bill. Everyone joins in with us. And others are there in the society who have taken up other issues. So we'll join with them.
And when you talk about others, I remember that the team, the NAC team, and the traditionally non-civil society, they kept a little, they kept themselves a little away from this movement, I think. So what is the actual mismatch?
I really don't know. You have to ask NAC members why did they, because whenever they invited us, we have gone to all their meetings. And we have also said that this process of drafting Lokpal Bill should have taken place at both the places, NAC as well as Joint Drafting Committee. Then it would have had the support of both the party as well as the government. So you have to ask them.
Okay. And so throughout the campaign, you have kept your funding transparent. At the same time, we can see that a lot of funds have come from corporate world, corporate entities. So isn't there a mismatch when you fight against corruption?
You see, when you seek funds, you can't go into the background of the donor. All that you can do is that you can ensure that no one influences because it's not about corporate or non-corporate. It is also about if an individual is giving money and that individual has a bad background. It's not just about that. We can't take a position that all corporates are bad and all individuals are good, or all business is bad and all non-business is good. There is good corporate, there's bad corporate, there's good business, there's bad business, and there's good individual, there's bad individual. As far as when you receive donation, and especially in such a large movement, then it is impossible for you to give a character certificate to all your donors. All that you can do is to take all the donations through check and put it on the website, to make it transparent that these are your donors. And you should not take any donation in such a manner of such an amount that that person can influence the movement, which has not happened. It is so broad-based. The kind of money that is coming is so broad-based that no one can influence the movement.
Political parties, including the BJP, have said that they would only comment upon the bill only when it comes to parliament. So how do you see this approach of the political parties?
I would request all the political parties, because the people of this country, firstly, we appreciate that they are saying that we will make our views known only in parliament. But we, the people of this country, also want to know the views of all the political parties. We are quite anxious to know their views. So therefore, we would urge them to also tell the people of the country what their views are. I mean, I'm sure the parliament, they will always disclose their, but there's nothing to keep secret about their views on the important issues of.
It is the first time in the history of India that civil society was part of the drafting committee of a bill.
No, that is wrong. There are many examples. I'll give you the copies of the notifications earlier. Okay. Many bills have been drafted by the civil society. The government is projecting it like this. Okay. I was told by one of the ministries that on about 25th March, just 10 days before this committee was formed, there was another joint drafting committee that was formed by the government. So there are so many joint drafting committees which have been formed earlier. This is the only committee which has been formed after an Andolan. Otherwise, the government has been forming committees left, right and center. Sometimes the committees are formed, I mean, there are so many laws which are straight away drafted by international agencies and given to the government, and the government passes it. There's so much of backroom influence that is there from international agencies like World Bank, etc. So if the people of this country want to draft a law, what's wrong in it?
So that's your answer against the criticism that civil society crossing its borders to.
No, there I think the reaction would be a little different. Civil society is not crossing its borders. In a democracy, democracy is by the people, of the people, for the people. The people are central. They elect representatives and they send it to the parliament. And it is the duty of all the elected representatives to hear the voice of the people and take, the elected representatives are supposed to echo the voice of the people in parliament. Right? So the voice of the people is definitely against corruption, very strong voice, no doubt about that. And they want a very strong anti-corruption law. So therefore, firstly the civil society, what is civil society? 120 crore people of this country is civil society. And civil society also includes politicians. Politicians are not uncivil society. They are also civil society. Everyone is civil society. So I really don't understand the word civil society. Everyone is a civil society, but all that I am trying to say is that parliamentarians have a duty to hear the voice of the people, and I am sure they will do that. They have already seen the kind of anger people have, and I am sure that they will, when parliament convenes, they will listen to the voice of the people.
So how are you planning to take the movement forward, and how do you intend to expand the activities of the collective that you have created with this campaign, now that you have a collective all across India, right?
We are discussing with other people. For instance, on 5th and 6th July, there are important activists, about 50 of them, who are coming from all across the country, which will be formed into a working committee. and each of the states there will be committees that will be formed, and they will take their decisions and they will take the movement in different states.